Now this is where it gets juicy. We are getting into the technical side of things, and I'm gonna do my best to be able to point you on the right direction here, because when you first start trading, you can be thinking about support, resistance, and then you start to hear about smart money concepts, and so many different things come up all the time. You can just be left feeling overwhelmed and thinking, what do I actually need to learn? So for the continuing videos from here, we're going to be getting into the technical side of trading, discussing the technicals, discussing what you need to be able to learn, and obviously how you're going to be able to do that. Trading primarily price action, so without heaps of fancy indicators, which is how the pros actually do it. And yeah, I'm really excited for this part of it, and I'm going to do my best to be able to help you. Shout out to you if you are watching these videos and applying it, right? The first thing that we're getting into here is everything is going to be, surrounded by this idea of the Holy Grail, right? So we are going to be answering these 7 questions in this video series of the Get Profitable or Die Trying. We're going to be answering these 7 questions in order to be able to get profitable, right? Because if you can answer all of these questions and you refine them and you keep coming back to that and you get better and better and better at trading and the answers to these questions, you are going to be profitable. There's no way around it. You are going to be making money in the markets, and that's all that you really need to focus on. So starting in, I guess, a bit of a chronological order, we're looking at have you defined a strategy and an approach into the markets, right? Now, before we get into the technical side of things as well, I just want to give a quick warning around things. I had to shout out to my boy Gandalf to get some help here, because you shall not pass, you shall not start learning about the technical side of trading, and I'm just going to save you time as well. You shouldn't learn about the technical side of trading unless you truly understand the long-term vision and the opportunity of trading. No one's here to sell you on why you should do trading. No one's here to convince you why it's a great thing to do and why getting into investing in crypto and learning these skills is something that you should do. You should already have that understanding. If you don't see the value in it, then you're probably just going to give up and quit. This is not a get rich quick opportunity, and I want to make that very, very clear. Okay, so you should be able to, by this point, you should have already developed a strong why that is going to keep you going even when you want to quit. All right, even when you want to quit. Okay, because you're going to have so many times you're just like, fuck trading, I'm going to give up, and you need to take breaks, and maybe you blow an account and you're just going to feel like you're destroyed. But you need to find a why. You need to find a reason why you're going to keep pushing through when 98% of people are going to give up. And it's really, really important to start thinking about that. If I didn't have that in my life, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be where I am today. So I just want to let you guys know that, all right? Truly understand that you are only the secret to your success. So there is no other secret out there. It's only you. You can learn all the technicals, you can learn all the strategies, you can learn exactly what I'm doing, but you're the one at the end of the day that has to execute and follow your trading plan and have the right type of mindsets and habits of a successful trader. So we're just talking about the first fundamental of the technical side of trading, but this is not the secret here, guys. So don't get, don't throw the baby, don't get caught up in the mix of this. It's not the be all and end all. It's just such a small part of trading, but when you're a beginner, you think this is everything that trading is, but and it's not. Okay, that's just something to keep in mind. And then I want you to have started to develop some more self-awareness, started to do those emergency meetings, committed to treating this like in a business, and expecting results in the next 1 to 2 years. So like I said, maximum I would say, the minimum I would say would be 6 months until you actually start to see tangible results. That's if you could spend, I think, you could spend like 5 to 10 hours a day on the charts. Like if you have no job, if you're like young and you don't have any responsibilities and you can just be on the charts for this whole time, you could do it in 6 months, and you could be profitable in 6 months given that screen time. But if you're the average person, you probably got roughly about 20 hours in a week or so. It's probably going to take you 6 months plus 1 to 2 years to really start to see the results from this. Okay, so it's just important to keep that in mind and don't give up on that journey. Allow yourself the time, and don't have to rely on your trading for income tomorrow, and understand the skill set that you're developing for the long term. Okay, so you should also start to understand some things about time management and the correct environment around things. and then also understand your trading style. So whether you're going to do swing trading or day trading, it's important to understand as well. With these videos and these technicals that I'm going to be going through, you can apply it to either one, but you should have made your mind up around that by now. And then the last point here is a healthy body is giving you a healthy mind, and this correlates directly with your trading. So you should start to understand that and start to be able to get some good reps in at the gym, start pushing yourself and actually start crushing it. Okay, so shout out to Gandalf. And if you're not doing this stuff, really there's no point in watching any of the videos in the future. You need to get yourself dialed in, you need to be locked in, and this is really information for serious people that want to be able to actually treat this like a business and build a skill set that can literally, set them free from their life and never have to rely on anyone else or anything apart from an internet connection and a laptop for income for the rest of your life. Like that to me was enough to keep going no matter what. So yeah, if you're not at that stage where you really understand and you know that this is what you want to do, take some time, develop that, and then come back to this. Okay, so yeah, coming into that first question, right? The first question of the Holy Grail is, have you defined a strategy and what approach do you have to the markets? So basically, the reason why we want to get around to the technicals and the basics and the fundamentals of the markets is because this is a trade that I took a short on Australian dollar, and what allowed me to take this trade is the fundamentals, understanding the fundamentals and obviously the technicals around things that put me into this winning position and helped me understand my edge and what I was doing. Okay, but if you're just a complete new beginner, you probably have no idea what you're looking at. This may completely not make any sense to you at all. So you need to first be in a situation where you can actually start to understand this stuff around what are candlesticks and the different time frames and all the patterns and what occurs basically. And I've kind of broken that down because there's going to be a lot of trades, and I'm going to be making a lot of trade review videos from the trades that I'm taking, and I want you guys to be able to learn from that. I want you guys to learn technicals and learn the mindset and basically the thought process around trading from watching these trade reviews that will come in the future. All right, so how do we go about doing that? We need to understand the fundamentals of price action. Now, primarily we are trading price action. So what does that entail, right? So TradingView is going to be our charting software. That's what we use to look at all of our charts and our markets and everything like that. Terminology is something that you need to study into when you are first getting started. All the names and everything can seem a bit confusing, so you need to get some clarification around that first. Candlesticks, just looking at basic patterns and obviously understanding how the momentum of a candle can correlate towards the next candle. That's important to understand. I trade a lot like that. And then also the trends, so how to spot them, how to see if a market's trending or not. You'll come to develop this skill set. Support and resistance zones, and understanding how broken resistance becomes support and broken support becomes resistance. Break-in structure, change of character, liquidity sweeps, fair value gaps, order blocks, equilibrium, fixed range volume profiles, top-down analysis, and obviously setting up a broker and a MetaTrader setup. Now, if you're someone that is intuitive and you feel like you can learn it all by yourself, then more power to you. And that's why I've developed this list for you to be able to go and then take these fundamentals and then go do your own research into building each one of these skill sets brick by brick until you can have the fundamentals of price action understood. So this is a pretty comprehensive list into what I like to teach and how I've been able to understand the markets moving as well. So that's something to keep in mind. And then also I would recommend that you do study the 10 laws of market dynamics. This is about trading ranges. I'm not going to read all these ones out, but pretty much you can pause the video, take a screenshot of that, and really understand that. And the reason I make this, guys, is because in order for us to take some banger trades like this, to be making consistent money from the markets, we need to first understand this and we need to understand this, okay? So how you're going to get there in terms of a timeline is that it is going to take roughly about 3 to 6 months for you to be able to understand the fundamentals of the markets and the 10 laws of market dynamics, okay? So like I said here, about 20 hours a week of chart time and study can have you master the technicals in about 3 to 6 months. It will become second nature to you. Even if it is hard, you've got to push through the resistance and you've got to be able to actually understand that, okay? After your first month, you should start again learning a strategy and learning how you basically, your strategy is going to incorporate these different things into it so that you can then, this is like the fundamentals of price action, the market dynamics is understanding how the market moves, and then you take these principles and these building blocks and then you formulate a strategy given your trading style, given your times available that you're able to trade, given what you want to trade, what asset class. Everything has to be personalized and individualized towards yourself. So that's why I'm not jumping into a strategy video straight away without you understanding the basics and without you actually having some level of knowledge and obviously understanding around when you want to trade, what you want to trade, so on and so forth. So we will get into making a traded plan later down the line, but as of right now, that's what I recommend that you learn, and then also learning this as well. And it may seem a little bit confusing, push through it, okay? And what I have to say, guys, is that all of this information is online, and if you want it refined, then simply pay someone to be able to teach you. When I first started, I had money to be able to pay someone to be able to teach me. The only way that I really saw results in my life was from like doing one-on-one, because a lot of these trading terms, when you start to go down this rabbit hole, can be really confusing. It's not simplified, and I found it personally a little bit of a struggle, or I felt overwhelmed when I wanted to learn this, and then I just started watching tons of YouTube videos and researching all these different topics, and I didn't know where to start. So I mean, at least you do have these lists now of what you need to understand and what you need to study, so that you can use that as a bit of a guidance. But personally, if you do have the money, I would just pay someone to be able to have this information refined and then give that to me, okay? Like I said, you can learn all of these skills for yourself and make absolutely no money. So it's just important to be able to understand this, right? Like, you pay someone for the technical side of things and you think this is, if I just learned your strategy, Conrad, I'd be able to make money. And the reality of the situation is not, it's false. You can learn all the technicals and then you can keep making the same basic mistakes over and over and over again, and this can keep costing you money and you can keep missing out on things. So that's just something to remember, guys. I'm going to do my best to be able to help you and post my trade breakdowns and be able to do that. But in terms of me spending hours and hours and hours filming videos of all of this stuff, I've already done that for my paid clients and kind of refined that. I'm just sharing with you exactly the curriculum around things. If you want to go and find that information for yourself, you can. And if you want to be able to pay someone one-on-one that has already refined that information and can work with you, I do have a couple of spots open in my mentorship program. Basically, to be able to apply for that, you just go onto Instagram at Day One Capital, and then you can DM me the word trading, and then we can have a conversation about that. I only take a couple of people, and I only work with people one-on-one doing Zoom calls until you are profitable. So just keep that in mind. And like I said, if we are working together, or if you are venturing down this pathway, I do expect you to have your shit sorted. I do expect you to, be aware of all of this type of stuff. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I just wanted to give you an overview into what is going to be required in terms of the technical side of things. How I'm going to be able to help you from this point onwards is I'm going to be continually making trade breakdown videos. So in my trade breakdown videos, I'm going to be talking about TradingView and the charting software and the terminology and the trends and support break structure, all of this stuff, all of these terms. You're going to be seeing that in action, how a live professional trader is going to be using, how the market is moving and top-down analysis and everything, how I'm going to be using that in a strategy. So you can come to learn that, and you can follow along with these videos as well. So I think for the next 5 or 10 videos, I'm just going to be making trade breakdowns so that you can come to understand that as well. And hopefully it's going to be able to help you guys out. So that's pretty much it for this one, guys. Like I said, if you do need help with this personally, want to work one-on-one, shoot me a DM. If you don't, then good luck. Go study this, go hustle, fucking crush it, man. And then I will catch you guys in the next videos. Let's get it, son. Woo!